One of the most common thoughts that kicks high achievers into fight or flight is, I'm not adding enough value here. And because adding value is absolutely core to high achievers' sense of security and identity, once you think you're not adding value, your brain will kick you into fight or flight to try to solve that problem. And the two solutions that your brain comes up with when it's in fight or flight are solution number one, overwork. Go into overdrive, work all night, work all weekend, think about work even when you're not working, work and work and work and work. Or solution number two, underwork. Pull back, contribute less, hesitate, try in sort of a half-hearted way, decide that you don't really want to do this anyway, quietly give up. When your brain perceives a threat, it will either activate energy or it will deactivate energy in order to keep you safe. And what that looks like in the context of this I'm not adding value at work thing is that you will either overwork or you will underwork. Now, the problem is that neither of these are super effective solutions. If you underwork, I'm not adding enough value here, will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're doing less, you're trying less, you're pulling back, so yes, you will be adding less value. That one's pretty easy to understand. Now, on the other hand, if you overwork, I'm not adding enough value here will become an anxiety hamster wheel, and you run without ever getting to the destination. Now, this one is a little trickier to grasp because when you're on the anxiety hamster wheel, it really feels like you're just one task away from being okay. But this is a cognitive illusion. I want you to ask yourself, how often have you told yourself, I just need to do this one thing and then I'm going to be back on track? You might have told yourself, I just need to get through all these emails and then I'll be okay. Or I just need to get past that big meeting and then I'll be okay. Or I just need to get through this week and then I'll be okay. Have you ever actually felt okay after that one thing? Or is there always more stuff to do afterwards and you're back on the hamster wheel and your brain is telling you that the next thing is what will make you feel okay? When your brain is in fight or flight on the overworking side of the equation, it's kind of like being this little hamster. He can run and he can run and run on his hamster wheel, but he is never getting to Hawaii. So when your brain tells you, I'm not adding enough value here, the real solution is not to overwork and it's not to underwork. The real solution is to pull your brain out of fight or flight and then assess the situation in front of you from baseline, not from your brain's emergency mode. Your brain is really good at turning off fight or flight when there's a clear external signal that the threat has been resolved. So if you see a tiger and you run away from the tiger and now you're far away from the tiger, your brain is going to turn off fight or flight because it can see that the threat has been resolved. That's your brain activating energy in response to a threat and then coming back to baseline once the threat has been resolved. Or you might see a tiger, play dead until it goes away, then the tiger is gone and your brain turns off fight or flight because it can see that the threat has been resolved. That's your brain deactivating energy in response to a threat and then coming back to baseline once the threat has been resolved. But there aren't really clear external signals that the threat has been resolved in an office setting. Did you just have a good meeting or a bad meeting? Is your boss mad at you or are they just distracted? Did this obstacle that just came up, is it just a speed bump for your project or is everything going to get derailed? There's way too much ambiguity at play. And when your brain doesn't get a crystal clear signal that everything is okay again, it is going to keep fight or flight turned on just to keep you safe. But fight or flight was never meant to be used for hours or days or weeks at a time. It was meant for short bursts with a fairly quick return to normalcy. Now, your system can sustain a quick hyperactivation or hypoactivation of energy when needed, just like a car can accelerate to 120 miles per hour or brake really suddenly when needed. But staying in that emergency mode for hours or days or weeks at a time just burns your system out. Just like constantly going at 120 miles an hour or constantly braking really hard will burn a car out. All of which means when you feel that quiet background fear that you are not adding enough value, and you feel the accompanying instinctual urge to either overwork or underwork, what you need to do is recognize that what's really happening here is that your brain has gone into fight or flight. And then you need to manually turn that off and come back to baseline so that you can assess, first off, whether the problems even exist. Is it really a tiger or is it just the trees rustling in the wind? And if the problems really do exist, if there really is a tiger lurking in the woods, then all the more so you need to come back to baseline. because your best problem solving comes from your calm, grounded center, not from your brain's emergency mode. Manually turning off fight or flight and coming back to baseline, coming back to who you are when your protective mechanisms aren't activated, coming back to yourself is exactly what I help my clients learn how to do. And when you can turn off fight or flight and come back to flow on demand, you can see exactly how to add value at work and stop feeling anxious. You can deliver your best performance and stop doubting yourself. You can get on top of your to-do list and stop feeling overwhelmed. You can clearly see whether your current role is the best fit for you or not and stop waffling about whether to stay or whether to go. You can have confidence and conviction about your next career step and stop spinning about what you want to do next. And you can navigate your way over to the next role effectively and efficiently and stop feeling like a nervous actor who's auditioning for a part. And most importantly, you can get off of that hamster wheel and you can get to the destination that you've been running toward for so long. Because that destination is a state of mind, not an external set of circumstances. I want you to come talk to me today to get a demo of how all of this works. You can drop by anytime for a no strings attached coffee chat. It's not a sales pitch or a sale call. It's just an opportunity for us to discuss whatever's on your mind, and I will give you some one-off coaching and brainstorming about your situation, get your brain out of fight or flight, back into flow so that you can clearly assess what's going on in front of you. Or you can also book a consult call and we can map out a full coaching engagement so you can learn the skill of turning off fight or flight and coming back to flow for life. The link to book a coffee chat or a consult call are above, or if you're listening on Instagram, both of those links are in my bio.